like leading up to like
I've never seen the air.
Granted, like a pasta meat
exactly how.
for sevens. I've never heard.
So, first thing we would want to do is invite the Hispanic community to come. And since you both speak the language, get that message out in Spanish. Okay? So we want to have, say, help the new Hispanic community. And two, first step is invite them
Get the message out.
to a meeting. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story. When I first came to Hardyville, I got involved in government right away. So when I got on city council, I said, I'm gonna have a series of meetings, and I'm gonna ask the public to come in and meet. Nobody shows up, just a few people. And I was giving hot dogs away, because everybody said, feed them and they'll come. Well, I tried to feed them and they still didn't come. So the question to you all, getting your input on what they need, which is a great idea. How do we get them?
Food.
What time was that,
Mainly about getting our word across, right? Social media is always great.
that's Friday, you said?
Use,
That's all right,
sorry, does this council have like a media page where we could post daily updates or something?
Yeah, Jess?
I'm sure you'll see Miss Ann.
Yeah.
Ann Walker.
Yeah. Hi.
If,
That's in Henderson.
we're talking about setting up a meeting, come and educate us on what, perhaps, what the difficulties are in coming to a new country and new city, and ways that, what things do they need? Could we use the city media outlets to reach them to announce when the meeting is gonna be and what it's about?
Yeah, we can do that. Another option too is we have a relationship with the Hispanic Business Association, so we can also reach out to them and see if they can help us spread the word on that as well.
That's great.
That's great.
I'm on the board of Habitat for Humanity, and the treasurer is on, her husband is part of the Navarros, are you talking about?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, Alex and, they're part of the Hispanic business community.
Yeah, they helped us with the ham event. We sent them the graphics and they were helping us like post it on their social media and spread the word. So we definitely could reach out to them and see if they can help with this.
That's a good idea. So, where do you think, should we hold this in here, in the rec center?
I think here.
You think we raised about $50,000?
A lot of stuff left over last year.
Leslie,
What do you think?
Dave, what do you think?
Right.
Where do you
What do
think?
you think?
And then that way, when you point the finger at them, now they're forced to answer you.
Pretty sure people know more about this place than the rec center.
Oh yeah,
From a walking distance, possibly.
that's a fair point. Yeah, City Hall would be much more recognizable as a get-together place than the rec center, I think. Or am I wrong? Yeah, this place would be better.
It's more accessible.
Okay.
And then they can leave their kids over there to play and come here.
Okay, that's a good thought.
We can also see if we can put a flyer in the rec center too. Like, we can post it on social media, but we can also put flyers out in places like the rec center. So if people see it while they're at the gym,
Yeah.
they'll know about it.
Okay, should we, now you're having it here. Should we have snacks, something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
So give them something to eat.
Yeah.
Let me throw another idea at you. Also from a convenience factor, but may have a slightly bigger space. Have any of you ever been at the community room at the library down the street?
I have it.
Okay. Behind, at the back end of the library, with its own entrance, is a community room. Now, I'm not sure it's a bigger space than this, but it does have a little sink and, does it have a refrigerator in there?
Yeah, it has-
a refrigerator.
In the back, there's a refrigerator, a sink, kind of like a kitchenette area.
It might be easier to set up, because I don't think we're gonna have 200 people, right? So maybe, and it's right down the street, it still has walkable access to the community along here.
Something nice about the library too, I feel like just kind of how it's set up, it could be kind of less intimidating. Cause coming to something like this might be a little bit intimidating with having people sitting right up here. So how you can set it up in the library, it's kind of more of a conversational type of flow, so it doesn't seem so, I don't know, it seems more like a casual conversation.
City Hall may be more intimidating.
I think a little bit.
Might be too formal.
Yeah.
I think so, like with people sitting up here, when
Oh.
you're sitting with people kind of, I think sitting with people on the same like style, it seems a little bit more casual, easier to kind of talk and more of a collaborate kind of conversation.
And even if we had it here, probably would be a better idea that you're not sitting here to set up tables, but I think it'd be easier to set up the community room in the library. It has its own, you don't have to go through the library, it has its own back entrance, right by the fire station, right, a couple blocks down the road. So,
It's not too far at all, like very easy, like walkable distance.
So now, let's go to the when.
This library spot, right? Is it available like whenever, or like do we need to like reserve a time for?
We, the city, control the use of that. Even though it's attached to the library, we made a recent change. So I have to go to one of the staff members who controls. So it's just a matter of making sure we get a time that nobody else has it already reserved.
Yeah.
But other than that, we can control that. So the first thing to do would be you three decide what is a time that you can make it so that you're here. And because you two speak the language, it's essential that you're here. And what I would also ask our municipal judge, Judge Nancy, who's Judge Nancy Gutierrez, and she speaks Spanish as well. So I would ask her if she lives right near, she lives downtown also. She would be a great person to be there as well. I would ask her to be there. What do you?
Yes. Do we have any idea of what we may be talking about?
What? Very good. What you all should do is prepare a list of questions. You know, what do you want to ask the people? What do you want them to tell you? Okay. And the more focused the questions could be, the better the answers you're going to be. So if you just say, how can we help you? It's so broad.
Okay.
You know, how do you narrow down a list of questions? So if you ask them, do you speak Spanish? They say yes or no, right? As opposed to, how many languages do you speak? You know, tell me, the more focused you can get the questions, the better the answers you're gonna get.
So like close-ended questions.
I'm sorry?
Close-ended questions. Like like opposite, open-ended.
Yeah. And,
Fair enough.
you know, and so if you know what you want to try to get, you can frame the questions in a way that you're going to get good quality answers. So what I would ask each of you to do is come up with a list of questions. You know, you know, how can we help? But again, that's
What specifically do they need help with type of, because if we're focusing on the language barriers, but in what aspects are the barriers referring to? Like, is it with governmental assistance, or is it with resources, or with their environment, or stuff like that? Just which one specifically? So the questions could be more targeted.
Like just to know about the concerns in this community or something.
So like, well, not a census, it's like a poll, or
Kind of like a survey question, yeah.
Yeah. And, there's some things I've heard in the past, you know, when they come here, there's certain things they need from City Hall. How do you get a driver's license, for instance? You know, if you're here, you don't speak English, how do you get that information if it's not given in Spanish? You know, so what kind of information help, you mentioned government, how can government, what barriers have you come across? You have trouble getting a driver's license, you have trouble getting, you know, employment information, or, you know, where do you need information in Spanish, for example? Now, think of those kinds of questions. I'll also ask Blanca Martinez,
Oh, yeah,
who owns Toro Taxis up in, she's phenomenal, nice woman. I'll ask her to come too.
yeah, definitely.
And she has a lot of contacts, and she helps the local community, you know, with paperwork, you know, visa information and things like that. So she'd be a good one to
Yeah,
have come too.
she'd be a great one.
All right, so if you all work on questions. Now, let's go back to the when. Is this a good time? Now, one of the things, we want to hold a meeting when the people can attend. So it's not just has to be convenient for you all. It's, you want people to show up, so when when is it convenient for the audience you want to attend? Is 5 o'clock too early for people who work? Is 6 o'clock too late for you?
No.
You know, and so, any thoughts?
I would say,
Ask your council what they think time-wise.
what do you guys think? What do you think?
which one goes first?
Dave, go first.
I mean, first we need to think about like how long the event should be, like the duration. So like 1 hour, like 1 hour, 2 hours or something should be a good time for 2 hours, or like 2 hours 30 minutes. Should be good enough time frame, right?
Yeah.
For the whole event.
Is February a good date? February, 'cause it's January right
And
now.
it should be on a weekend. Or I was thinking a weekend where more people are off and they have more of an opportunity to show up.
Don't schools have a break during January, like, because after semester, this semester ends at
Barriers the 20th, but it's
Oh,
and on January, so probably you have to cross that out, so second of March.
yeah. That's
You are gonna need, you're gonna need some time
Yeah, for the word, yeah.
organized.
And plus, we need some time so the word gets around.
a good date, but
Yeah.
I don't know about
So-
March.
I also recommend, like, before you do it, like, the people you mentioned that you wanna get involved in this as well, maybe have a meeting with them, cause they could also bring some perspective and ideas and maybe help you with some questions to ask the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea.
That's a great idea, you know, to help you get organized. Now, we're starting to push out here, so, you know, keep that in mind too. And the results of this meeting, you may not have time to work on yourself, but you can create a document of, here's what you could give to the city of Hardyville. Here's what you have to do for this, for the Hispanic community to help them transition into the greater community. So this doesn't have to lead to specific action by you. You're the creator of the plan. You may not have time to execute any part of it. And that's okay, because you're leaving your legacy by creating a document, a plan, a path forward. So, with Jess's idea in mind, should we have for February's meeting, inviting Judge Nancy, Blanca, the Navarros, and ask them to come to our February meeting, tell them what we're gonna do, what we want to accomplish. You, in the meantime, create a list of suggestions for questions, ask them what they think,
So we get feedback too.
get feedback also, and then at that meeting, you can create a document of questions that you want to present to the Hispanic community when they come in. And then, the question about a Saturday, I think we could ask them as well.
Yeah, especially since Blanca works with the community as well. She knows a lot of people's schedules. She might have a good idea of like what date or time works for people in the community.
She's constantly working with the Hispanic community, so that's a good point. She could probably help us.
A lot.
And it gives you time to like, organize it, cause just kind of in my past experience with planning events, the more time you have, like, it kind of runs a little bit more smoothly.
We don't want to be rushed or anything.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so, where's my second, Wednesday of February is the 12th. Are you all good for the next youth council meeting, the 12th?
Sure.
That's the second Wednesday of February. And that'll give me time to invite those other folks to that meeting. Okay? That'll give you time to prepare a list of questions that you think. And if you have friends that, you know are new to the community, and it just doesn't have to be Hispanics, any new, people who come who are not native to this area. It could be from India, what problems have they encountered coming to a new community with a new language, a new school, all the things. And maybe ask them, and that'll help you formulate your list of questions. And then when we get input from Blanca and Judge Nancy and all those people who are dealing with the Spanish community now, combine it together. What do you think?
Sounds good. I wonder who's the real mastermind of the plan.
Well, well, and then what you could do, once we have this plan put together for February, we can set the date for, probably for March, right? And you can put your flyer skills up to work again. Make sure we get the word out to the community to show up at this.
Yeah, I loved your graphics, by the way. They were awesome. And I really appreciate you making a graphic in Spanish too. So like if you want to make the graphic for this again, it would be great. They were amazing.
Thank you.
Do you need help with putting up flyers and stuff like that? Or like it's like going to be in one place in particular?
The flyers, we generally don't put them up anymore. Everything gets done electronically, whether it be through emails, social media that we post on our website. Even if we, one of the St. Anthony's is the primary church that our Hispanic community goes to. We can give that to the pastor. And, he could announce it from the pulpit, so and that's a good way to get the word out too, is through the church. I don't know if there's any other church that the Hispanic community attends. I think they'll mostly go to St. Anthony's, but we can find that out. That's a good way to get the word out. Come meet, and the fact that they're meeting you as you are the youth council, they're coming to meet, they're not meeting, some strange mayor, from, that they can't relate to. I think they'll relate to you a heck of a lot more. You're not gonna intimidate them like maybe a government official, especially with all the talk in Washington, God knows. And that may be another thing that you want to use this forum. And perhaps that's where our police department can come in. Ease their concerns. What happens in talking in Washington is not necessarily what's going to happen in Hardyville. We're not here to frighten people the way some people may be frightened from the talk in Washington. That may be one of the objectives, is to ease the concerns of people who are newly arrived. So think about that. How do we help make people comfortable that they're here in Hardyville? Because we are. We are not Washington. Anything else that you can think of that you would like to work on or is this is quite a bit, you know, for the next couple of months? But anything else that you think we should do to prepare for this? Jess?
I think this is a pretty big project, so.
Yeah,
I feel like we should mainly focus on this.
focus on this, yeah. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. So I will work on getting, I have Nancy, Blanca, and Navarro's. I'll see if, Rick Patel can come, because he, as you, I think you met him, he speaks fluent Spanish, and he's in touch with a lot of the local Spanish community as well. So, and Rick's Indian as well, so he's got the whole stuff. And so he might be a good one to get some input if he can come. That I'll contact all of these, get as many of them here as I can, and we'll brainstorm with them and try to get a March event put together. Does that sound okay?
Sounds great.
Yes, but could we make sure that the March event isn't like the first week of March?
It won't be the first week in March because I'll be at the Panama Canal.
Okay.
Not here. I can guarantee you it won't be the first week in March. And like anything else that we do, the date will be up to you. Whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, you are in control. You decide when it's gonna be, not me. I can offer suggestions and Jessica, but this is your project, your council. You make the decision. So you can't decide on the first week in March. Anything else? We'll send you home early today. I just want to say, I'm very proud of all three of you. Your mom was great when you were gone. Into the giveaways. And I really do appreciate that you have been the heart and soul of this year's youth council. And hopefully we can close out on a great note. Thank you. And what you did at the giveaways were just tremendous. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Also, I was thinking, what about after you get like the survey back? What do you do with that information? Will there be like a follow-up event or?
Yeah, I think there should be a follow-up, and maybe that's how we wrap up the year. And like 1 year when we worked on health and nutrition, what the final outcome of that youth council was, they passed a resolution, sent it to schools. Schools, you should do this, this, and this. Put healthier food in the vending machines and put salads on the meal plan. You know, there was a list of things that youth council left with the school administrations. And that's what I envision with this, what you're working on now, is that you say, you leave a resolution to the city of Hardyville. You should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to help the Spanish community adjust. Whatever you come up with as a result of this survey, you leave a game plan for the city to follow. Here's what the Spanish community needs to help them transition. It'll be up to us being the city of Hardyville, to take it and implement what you suggest as a plan. You're the creators. You leave it to the workers to implement.
thought, but okay.
Okay, what don't you like about it? I'm glad you said that. What would you like to see?
Teamwork. Not really superior.
I'm sorry?
Not really superiors, but more like teamwork. Like teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I speaking too softly? Like,
You are speaking softly because I have bad hearing. And that's.
and I do have a tendency to speak softer.
Yes. And again, I'll go back to what I said before. This is you, not me. So whatever you come up with, you tell me what you want to do with it, not me tell you. So say your thought again.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Okay, so, with that thought in mind, then when we get this survey, you tell you, as a group, you decide what you want to do with that. You can ask for my input, but it's up to you to decide what it is you want this information that you've gathered. What do you want done with it? You don't want them, you don't want. You don't want it to sit in somebody's drawer and in somebody's file cabinet, not and have anything done with it, right? So that should be also something you're thinking about also. And what define teamwork? I'm not asking you to do that now. How would you like to see a team effort go to these findings? And those are all things that you as a group should decide. Does that make sense? Does that answer your concerns?
Yes.
Okay. And if it doesn't, you tell me.
Do you have any concerns too?
I have none at this time. My concern is how do we help this community? And that's why I brought it up in the first place. I'd see them coming, and I see, wow, it must be so hard. What can we do to help? And that's my concern. And by you all tackling the question, I think we can help this community. So we just have to get, I'd like to see more people participating. You know, so that's my concern. I want to see more. You know, we have you three have been great. Let's get more.
How do we get more?
Hmm?
How do we get more? Do we?
Good question. And generally, usually we have more people participating from Royal Live Oaks. Last year, that's where we had everybody. Now, you know, we have Mia, but Mia's got a busy schedule, it seems, this year. There were other people signed up. So we have to try to shake the bushes and get more people involved at the next few meetings. I'll work on that too. But don't let me dictate. You have a concern. Don't let me dictate. This is your council. To do what you want to do.
Okay.
That's period.
Okay. We have a plan for next month?
Yes.
Have my notes made?
February 12th.
And so we will see you on whatever that date was in February. Okay?
Oh.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.